Galnet News, keeping your galaxy in focus. 11th of September, 3301. In today's top stories, we will see who will be the next Emperor. Imperial veterans skeptical about Patreus' campaign. New combat fighter from Gutamaya Shipyards, and the truth about Emperor's Dawn. Since the death of Emperor Duval, the question on everyone's mind is, who will be the next Emperor? With the Imperial Senate now in closed session, political commentator Marcus McMillan takes a look at the likely candidates for the throne. For political commentators, the varied landscape of Imperial politics provides plenty of intrigue to delve into, and this is particularly true of the Imperial throne. In theory, every member of the Duval family has an equal but invalid claim, and for those that lack the right blood, there is always an opportunity for the right marriage. Doubtless, many whispered deals of support and corresponding reward are being proposed between the senators to get their votes as we speak. For traditionalists, the obvious candidate is Chancellor Anders Blaine. He has always been close to the royal family and is extremely well connected. When considering his history, however, it becomes clear that he prefers the guiding role of Chancellor, and would not consider himself the next Emperor, even though the next Emperor might not want Chancellor Blaine as their right-hand man. Based on popularity among the masses, the People's Princess Ashlyn Duval is the obvious choice. Were it not for her father's lack of marriage and the recent declaration of his insanity by the late emperor, her claim would have been the strongest, and centuries ago that would probably have been enough. She is young for the role, but that could work in her favor, as many would like an emperor with a potential lengthy rule ahead of her. Her youth works against her in other respects, however, as all the other candidates far surpass her in experience. That being said, she is rumored to have some powerful, unnamed people behind her. Senator Arissa Lavini Duval was clearly the Emperor's chosen heir, but without the marriage to Florence Lavini being completed, she cannot be legally considered so. However, as the illegitimate child of Hengist Duval, she does have a suitable bloodline, just as strong as Ashlyn's, and she enjoys the support of both Chancellor Blaine and the citizenry. Her popular support is not as strong as Ashlyn's, but it is still significant, and more importantly, she is respected in the Imperial Palace. When considering potential rulers, the powerful Senator Zemina Torval must always be included. She is a shrewd operator with extensive commercial interests, and also an avowed traditionalist, which provides her with solid support both in the Senate and among the wider population. She lacks the strong bloodline connection of the other candidates, but does have some royal blood, and her strength in the Empire and in the Senate would put her in contention if she so chose. The last candidate is Senator Patreus. His popular following is still strong, but beyond the inner circles of political life, it has begun to weaken, particularly among free-thinking commanders. He wields considerable military and financial power, and his aggressive policies, based on conquest rather than taxation, are attractive to certain elements of the population. He is powerful in the Senate, and given that Senator Torval has indicated her support for him, he is still a contender. Speculation abounds that a marriage between Senator Patreus and Ashlyn or Arissa Duval would cement his position. He is a well-practiced operator, so he is one to keep an eye on. The smart credits are on a two-horse race between Ashlyn Duval and Arissa Lavini Duval. In general terms, little separates the two, so there is likely to be a lot of politicking over the next month to determine the winner. And more on the political front from the Empire. Imperial Senator Denton Patreus has taken a strong stance on Emperor's Dawn, condemning the organization and vowing to eradicate it from the galaxy. But responses to his statements have so far been mixed. Some have speculated that he is simply trying to curry public favor, while others have suggested he is attempting to draw attention away from his connection to Brendan Paul Darius, the Emperor's assassin. Now, the senator's assertions have been questioned by a source from within the Empire itself, General Anthony Corvus of the Imperial Navy. In a statement given to the Imperial Herald, the general said,
"We are clearly dealing with a well-organized and highly motivated cell organization, and despite Denton Patreus' optimism, in my opinion it is still too early to make any predictions about its suppression. I have dealt with similar organizations in the past, and they can be surprisingly hard to extinguish. No sooner have you dealt with one cell, another appears somewhere else.
Senator Patreus was approached for response to the general's words, but declined to comment. With the release of the federal gunship this week, Gutamaya Shipyards is also releasing a new vessel. One of the defining characteristics of the Eagle Mark II is its peerless maneuverability, so when it was announced that the successor to the popular fighter would be less maneuverable than the ship it was replacing, eyebrows were raised. It seems, however, that there was little cause for concern, as while the new Eagle does not quite rival its predecessor in terms of agility, it outclasses it in virtually all other respects. Not only is the new Eagle faster than its predecessor with a top speed of 300 meters per second and a boost speed of 400 meters per second, it also has a superior combat profile, boasting advanced armor and shields, and with the small hardpoint of the Mark II replaced with a medium hardpoint. These new features are supported by an improved power plant, although these enhancements do of course mean extra weight, resulting in a base jump range of only 10 light years. The other major change introduced with the new Eagle is that it has been manufactured by Gutamaya Shipyards rather than Core Dynamics, who produced the Eagle Mark II. The result, as one might expect, is a sleeker, more elegant vessel, albeit one that has retained the menacing profile of the earlier model. Additionally, the vessel has been produced specifically for the Imperial Navy, meaning that pilots will need to hold a rank of outsider or above in the Imperial Navy to fly it. The Imperial Eagle is expected to retail at 110,825 credits. And finally, the truth about Emperor's Dawn? As the campaign against Emperor's Dawn escalates, captured materials have revealed more about the group and its aims to destabilize Imperial society. Reporters from a number of respected Imperial news feeds, including the Imperial Herald, were invited to inspect some of the seized information. At first, the reporters were surprised by how innocuous the material appeared. Taken at face value, it seemed to espouse beliefs and traditions supported by many throughout the Empire, despite the rather extreme tone. The propaganda became more sinister, however, when it elaborated on how these beliefs would ideally be enforced. Some of the items included speeches denouncing the Emperor and his complicity in the erosion of tradition. Elsewhere, demands were made to remove the Emperor so that someone more fitting could take his place. So far, nothing has been revealed about who the group considers a proper candidate for Emperor. And that's the Galnet news for today. This has been Chip Washington. Tune in next time to keep your galaxy in focus.